reduce the numbers of mosquitoes and cope better with the diseases that these small but deadly creatures can spread. This report was produced by Louise Potterton for the United Nations.
Hi everyone, and welcome to MyZone Online School. My name is Ms. Nancy Kangomine, and here I'm joined with by my friend Chanel. Welcome, Chanel. And before we start with anything, let's sanitize our hands. Do it properly, between your fingers, do it properly, Chanel. Okay, there we go. Do it properly there at home. And let's practice our social distance. Make sure you are touching nobody and no one. And then, last but not least, we need to put on our masks. It's very, very important. Today, we are doing hygiene, and let's turn our books to page. Oh, okay. So I'm not introducing my lesson. And our basic competencies describe how personal hygiene practices contribute to good health and recognize how this can be a social asset. State practices for personal hygiene. That's number 2. And then our vocabulary for today, we have personal hygiene, keeping your body clean as well as keeping the clothes you're wearing clean and dry. And social asset is the values a person possesses. And now we describe how personal hygiene practices contribute to good health and recognize how this can be a social asset. You need to have good personal hygiene to help your body stay healthy. How do I practice good personal hygiene? You have to wash your hands regularly with clean running water and soap to prevent germs. Blow your nose in a tissue to get rid of the germs trapped in the small hairs in your nose. Wash and comb your hair regularly to prevent germs or lice in your hair, and never share your comb or brush. Germs or fungi love warm or damp places. Wash your body with soap every day to get rid of hiding germs. Germs can cause halitosis. Brushing of teeth after every meal would prevent it. Keep your toe and fingernails short to prevent germs from moving in. Okay, now we are turning to the board. And as you can see, imagine you come into your class or into a room and you get this weird smell. And this weird smell is coming from a friend, that closest friend of yours. How do you deal with that? That is really very difficult, right? Okay, so that is what we call body odor. Sometimes there is a smell coming from under your armpits or even from your mouth. Kids first experience these funny smells. They appear oftenly. It starts at puberty. And it happens in your preteen years, starting from 12 years and so on. Sometimes we even get this bad smell from what we are eating, like the garlic and the peppers and the onions that we eat. They give us this funny smell. And then there are also certain foods you can eat to get rid of this bad smell, like lemons and stuff like that. And mostly it's the food that we love so much that give us these funny odors. And so you have to be very careful because not everybody is comfortable with someone else's bad smell. Okay, and body odor can be linked with poor hygiene habits as well. So, and your personal appearance is also very important because even when you go for job interviews, sometimes, or most of the time, we look at people that are very well presented. You cannot come there with all these things hanging out and so on, and you expect to get a job. So, because an interview entails a lot of people. And if you come, they look at you and that's already, and if you're not good looking in like your looks, but what you're wearing and your smell and all that, if it's not good, then you are out, you must know. So you have to be very careful of that. Other things that can also take away your smell are like deodorants. And so now this friend of yours that have this bad smell, if you don't know how to approach them, because it's very, very sensitive, most of us cannot really tell our friends that, oh, you're smelling bad. Sometimes we buy them presents that help them with these funny smells. Just a perfume or a roll-on or just the spray-on deodorants and so on. Sometimes we keep these deodorants in our bags so that we can share it with our friends and we don't need to tell them straight that they are not having good smell and so on. And washing your hands, as we said, is very important. And now with the COVID, those are one of the things that we have to do every day and every time. So be careful. Because whatever we touch, there are germs. And these germs need to be cleared before we touch our noses, our mouth, and so on. So now we are turning to page 17 for our fun quiz. The first question is, describe how personal hygiene practices contribute to good health and recognize how this can be a social asset. As we said, social asset can be a problem to the one next to you. And then number 2 is state the practices of personal hygiene. Thank you. Okay, now before we leave, we are done for today, and before we leave, let's sanitize our hands again. We said every minute and every second we need to keep this little sanitized bottle in our bags and everywhere so that we can sanitize very often. And then social distance, very much needed. And then please don't forget to wear your mask. Thank you very much and bye-bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Shashi, I'm back. And you can always stay active throughout the lockdown. You can play with your friends, but keep your distance. Like me and my friend, yay! And you can also jog and sing to be active. Until next time, bye!
In a time of uncertainty, false news, and fear, learn on. While the world scrambles to make new sense, while the experts turn around in circles, trying to find their way back to tomorrow. Learn on. When classrooms become empty cathedrals and the trees start to bear answers, learn on. Learn on until every parent is a teacher and every teacher is a mentor. Learn on until you cross the boundaries of your mind, until you grow eyes and sprout wings. My friend, learn on. On sidewalks, on the floor, at the neighbors, in the market, in hallways, in churches, under trees, at kitchen tables, in riverbeds. Learning doesn't only happen between four walls. Learning happens in the small space of your enormous, beautiful mind. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn on one. Invite learning in.
Today, I'm joined by a panel of men. As per usual, we men get to talk about what we men really talk about. The program aims to make sure that what is left in the dark definitely comes to light.
I did see my father physically abusing my mother. So I didn't grow up with that I should beat a woman, because I hated what my dad did to my mom.
You know, whether this older woman does it with you, whether she, violates you, it's sort of seen that boosts your ego as a man.
Was that as a young man, I think at 17, 18, I started dating and realized that it's a very fascinating thing to have sex and so forth. So we had lots of what we call friends with benefits.
Hello grade 5s and welcome to MyZone online school. My name is Ms. Nancy Kangomine, and here in the studio I'm welcoming my friend Chanel. And before we start with anything, you have to remember that we have to sanitize our hands and obviously practice social distancing. Make sure you are touching nobody and no one. The lesson for today is lesson 5, fitness and the human body. Okay, now let's turn to page 19 in your booklet. The basic competencies for today are: after this lesson, you will state how different physical activities and adequate rest contribute to health in terms of blood circulation, prevention of heart diseases, muscles, and support system. You will discuss practices which contribute to your own fitness based on your own lifestyles, for instance, drawing, acting, and role play. The vocabulary for today, those words that you might not understand, are fitness, the condition of being physically fit and healthy. Muscles, a band of bundle of fibrous tissue in a human or animal body that has the ability to contract, producing movement in or maintaining the position of parts of the body. Blood circulation is a circulation of blood that refers to the flow of blood from the heart through arteries to reach all parts of the body, then from the parts of the body through the veins and returning to the heart. Adequate, satisfactory, or acceptable in quality or quantity. So now the next is we are stating how physical activities and adequate rest contribute to healthy body. Regular physical activity can improve your muscle strength and boost your endurance. Exercise delivers oxygen and nutrients to your tissues and helps your cardiovascular system work more efficiently. And when your heart and lung health improve, you have more energy to tackle daily chores. Now we are turning to page 20. Just as exercise strengthens other muscles in your body, it helps your heart muscle become more efficient and better able to pump blood throughout your body. This means that the heart pushes out more blood with each beat, allowing it to beat slower and keep your blood pressure under control. Practices which contribute to our fitness based on our lifestyles will be, now I want us to actually turn to the board. Exercise control weight. Exercise can help prevent disease, excess weight gain or help maintain weight loss. Now, as you can see, these are the benefits of exercise here on the board. And the most important thing is your heart. The blood is pumped by the heart through the body, and then it has to come back to the heart. And this is why your heart can pump actually better if you exercise more. And then these are the benefits of exercise. You have a strong heart, you have better muscles, your respiratory system is working better, your pulse is actually better, you have increased bone density, your brain functions better. You can even focus better in class. And it helps with the production of more red blood cells. And obviously we all want these beautiful shapes, and you can, so that is also helped by exercise. So it also compacts health conditions and diseases. It helps with your mood. You feel better. If it says mood, then it means that you actually feel better. And then obviously you have a lot of energy and you can sleep better. Okay, now being at home, we know that you are bored. Please, people, exercise. You can exercise with your dog, you can exercise with your parents, you can exercise with everyone around the house. But please just maintain your 1.5 distance. That is very, very important. And now we will continue on page 20 for our fun quiz. The first question on the quiz is, state how physical activities and adequate rest contribute to your health. And number 2, that's really fun. You are going to draw any of your physical activities which contribute to your own fitness. Thank you. That was. Okay, now we are going to sanitize again. You know how to sanitize all over between the fingers, and then please maintain social distance. And from me and my friend here, it's bye-bye.
What is social distancing? Hi everyone, I am Zoshi, and I'm back. It literally just means that you need to stay home all the time and keep away from crowded places. And remember to keep your distance from your friends too. Everybody stay safe. Yay! Till next time. Bye!
Humanitarian crises are all too familiar to television viewers. Civil wars that cause huge movements of refugees, worldwide pandemics, and natural disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis. This is the way most of us are used to seeing these heart-wrenching events, on a screen in front of us, watching passively. But what if you could step into the frame and actually feel what it's like for the individuals on the ground?
People come out of it feeling enlightened and often moved and often ready to take action. A lot of people automatically say, well, what can I do? How can I get involved?
Garbo Aurora is leading a team at the United Nations who are using cutting-edge technology to raise awareness, empathy, and funds, both to respond to humanitarian crises and to bolster support for a new set of sustainable development goals around the globe.
Virtual reality is the ability to really take part in a story that usually you're only a passive spectator on. And you actually get the sensation of feeling like you're being there.
By using multiple cameras that can record in all directions and software that can stitch the images together, virtual reality creates an experience that enables the viewer to see a movie from every angle, above, below, and behind.
It's exciting for the UN, to be involved in some of those early experiments of how we're trying to tell stories, make these films, and work with some of the most cutting-edge people in the industry on it.
So the UN reached out to us and connected, and we realized that there was a great opportunity here to tell some very important stories and to tell them in a way that we thought would be totally new and highly impactful. The way that I define virtual reality at this point in time is basically the hacking of your senses to convince you that you're somewhere other than where you are. Often, I think of it as a sense of vulnerability. So one of the things we've realized in some of our stories is you have a heightened sense of empathy and a heightened sense of connection as a result of that vulnerability.
That heightened sense of connection and empathy was exactly what Garbo Aurora was looking to create at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Not only to inspire leaders to take action, but also to influence donors to increase funding for disaster response efforts.
I'd started experimenting with using innovative ways of advocacy, and I started talking to a lot of different partners and people. What could we do that would be incredible? And someone said, I just came from a meeting at Samsung, and with some of these other virtual reality headsets, wouldn't it be amazing if you got all of those elite people who could actually go to a refugee camp, or they could go to an Ebola clinic. I just really felt it would get our issues highlighted.
In addition to the screenings at Davos, virtual reality portals have been set up to view the films at high-level political forums around the world. The virtual reality film on display was Clouds Over Sidra.
Clouds Over Sidra is a short film in virtual reality about a girl named Sidra who lives in Zaatari camp, which is a Syrian refugee camp in Jordan. And it is a story about a young girl who is giving you a tour of the camp, of what it's like, what her life is like. When the film debuted in Davos, it was a sensation to everyone we showed it to. They come out of it very deeply moved. I'd say half the people who watch Clouds Over Sidra cry. And then we cut a version for UNICEF where it's face-to-face fundraisers. The way they do that is usually someone with a clipboard on the street in Europe or in different countries. So they thought, well, what if we got people to experience virtual reality on the street?
Quite sad. They don't have a good environment to stay. We try our best to help them.
Early reporting from UNICEF has shown that when using virtual reality, they've doubled the effectiveness of their fundraising efforts. This report was produced by Ben Lybrand for the United Nations.
Hello and welcome to Turning Point International. We have taken over London.
I did it, and I got burnt out.
Over time, eBay developed an addictive personality to escape depression.
There's some people, they take medication, and it actually doesn't work for them.
Scientists are racing to find a COVID-19 vaccine. Creating a vaccine usually takes years, sometimes even decades. More than 150 vaccine candidates are being developed worldwide. Some of the trials furthest ahead have produced encouraging results. Several possible vaccines appear to have produced an immune response with antibodies, T cells, and no serious side effects. Antibodies are protective proteins that fight infections in the body. Some T cells kill infected cells. Others help B cells to make the right antibodies to fight a virus. It's uncertain how long immunity to COVID-19 would last. 6 other human coronaviruses have been known about for years. Natural immunity for the most common 4 is quite short-lived and generally lasts a few years. A COVID-19 vaccine could require booster jabs after years or even months. Scientists are using a variety of methods to make a vaccine. Several human trials are creating vaccines using the genetic code of the virus. Other human trials, and some with animals, are trying more traditional methods, such as using a weakened or inactive virus. This variety might lead to more than one type of vaccine. Having several could actually be very useful, as each one may be more effective among different people. Despite the promising progress, it's not guaranteed an effective and reliable vaccine will be found. If there isn't one, the virus might eventually infect everyone.